All right, everyone, we are back with another senior video interview. We are really excited to have with us University of Northwestern senior Faith Forcier from the softball team. She's currently at home in Watkins with her family, but will be going back to St. Paul next week because she is a math education major and is currently doing her student teaching. So, Faith, you were telling me a little bit earlier, but maybe tell people what it's been like for you transitioning to online learning while also trying to figure out how that looks for your student teaching.
Yeah. So, because my school was coming off of spring break when the same time the University of Northwestern was when this whole thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, I already hadn't seen my kids for a week,
Mm-hmm.
and then they had the extra week off. Well, yeah, they had the extra week off, and then the um, governor's notice went out, and that's what we're in right now. But we were told by the university, by my professors, that technically our student teaching was suspended. And so basically during the time that the kids were mandated to be out of school, we were also mandated kind of to be out. We couldn't be in. We could talk to our cooperating teachers about what we could do to help them. I reached out to my teacher and be like, I can help any way, if like any way you would want me to help you. I never heard back from him, so I honestly didn't do a ton of transitioning things to online, but we did have basically all of our material online because that's just how he runs his class. He runs it basically like everything's online for the kids to be able to click on. So everything was already online. It's just he had to get it in a different format so that it would be easier to access for the kids and set up times to talk to him and things like that. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing during the online part of this. It's probably going to be the rest of my student teaching. I probably will be answering kids' questions via email or video chat. I will probably be looking at kids' homework and seeing how they're doing, maybe reach out to them and be like, hey, this is what you were doing wrong in this. Like, this is how you can fix it type thing. But honestly, I don't really know. So I'm just kind of in the waiting game.
Yeah.
See what
Yeah.
this is going to look like in the next coming weeks.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a student teaching experience to remember and prepare you in ways that you probably weren't expecting. So I'm assuming then once you're done with student teaching, you'll be looking for jobs. Is there a certain grade level and place you think you'd like to be when you look for that first teaching job?
Yeah, so my license for math is 5th grade through 12th grade. So I can't do elementary, but I can do middle school and up. And I think I actually like middle school better.
Okay.
Like some people were like, what? And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. I think I like that content, and I like just being able to mess around with the kids at that age. So I'm primarily looking for a middle school somewhere. But I like am open to doing at high school level too. I would like I grew up in a small town and I like being able to know everyone. So I would rather be in a small town school than like a huge school. Because like right now I'm at Centennial Middle School. That's a huge middle school. Like they have a grade. Each grade level has like 600 people in it. My grade level had 60 in it when I was in middle school. So I would rather want a smaller town feeling, but not so small that I'm the only math teacher. So
that's awesome. Well, I hope that that process goes well for you when you're done. So maybe staying on that a little bit, maybe tell us, so did you choose Northwestern for the education program, softball, a little bit of both, and maybe talk a little bit about how your experience as a student has been and if it's kind of met your expectations in that sense?
yeah. I knew that when I went to college, I wanted to play a sport.
Mhm.
So I figured I would probably be a D3. Like,
Mhm.
just because I'm a good athlete, but I'm not like star top athlete. So I want to be able to play for the joy, not just to play to compete in the stress of competing. So
Mhm.
um, that was one thing, is I wanted to make sure I was going to be able to play a sport.
Mhm.
Um, I also wanted a Christian college because I wanted to grow more in my faith. And when I was like a sophomore, junior, and a senior in high school,
Mhm.
I was already going, like, I was going to Gustavus to watch my brother play football there. And I had two sisters that played softball at Northwestern, so I was coming to watch them play at Northwestern. And I really liked Northwestern's campus. They have this little island out
Yeah.
on Lake Johanna,
Mhm.
and I grew up at a campground, and the campground was an island. And
Mhm.
like my church literally built the causeway to it, and we had camp out there. So that just reminded me of camp at
Mhm.
Northwestern, and so that's really what made it feel like home to me. And so that's kind of why I chose to go there. It helped that I had two sisters there too. But
Mhm.
that's really the main reason.
Yeah. So going a little bit more into softball, so obviously you had the opportunity to play with both of your sisters for at least 1 year.
Yep.
And the three of you I know have been really involved in the athletic department, and from every job I know you've done on campus, basically with athletics. So maybe talk just a little bit about what it's meant to you to be involved in softball, but also the Northwestern athletic department in a lot of different ways, and how that has enhanced your experience as a student athlete.
Yeah. So being a student athlete, like, yes, you have the stress of school and you have to get all of that work done,
Mhm.
and pour into that school because you're a student, then
Mhm.
you're an athlete, which is what Northwestern really stresses. You're a student first, and then you compete. Um, and But the sports part for me, the athlete part, is really the place where I it's my stress reliever. I just let go of things when I'm playing. And
Mhm.
um, being at Northwestern, my team is literally like my second family. I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm getting text messages right now from my teammate.
Yeah.
I don't even have to look to know because I was texting them earlier, so I know it's them.
Mhm.
But like, even right now, doing all of this, yes, we don't have our season right now because it got canceled, but we're still connecting with one another. We're still trying to grow each other in
Mhm.
our faith. And um, so like my team is like my second family. And then going into when I work with athletics, they're just so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, I work at the head table a lot. I either do the scoreboard or I do libero tracking for volleyball.
The
And
hardest job of all, the libero tracking.
it's so easy. Half the time I forget the libero comes in. I was like, oh shoot, who's she come in for? And I'm looking at my sheet and I'm actually two behind. I was like, oh no. But I know what's happening.
No
So
one
I was
else
like,
knows you're
I'll just
behind.
write it down. But we just have so much fun at the head table, and we just crack each other up, and it's really fun. And working with Jordy and Jay was there before Jordy was, and so both of them were really fun. With Matt Hill, with all the other students, athletes, well, all the other student workers who work for athletics there, they're really fun to talk to, and it's just a nice working for the athletics is just a nice way to earn money. You get paid to basically sit there and watch the game and do a little
Yeah.
thing on the side.
Mhm.
So I always just loved it because I'm like, I would be here anyways, but
Yeah.
now
Mhm.
I'm getting paid to be here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun way to spend your time if you have to be working. So, Maybe talk a little bit about the softball team. I know you mentioned you guys have been in touch, which is awesome, but your program has gone to the NCAA tournament each of the last 2 years. I think that there's a really strong team culture. Maybe just talk a little bit about what that's like and what it's been to you to be a part of, a program that's becoming, more established and finding success, but also, really grounded in your team culture.
Yeah. What was really cool is that I'm the only senior right now on the team,
Yeah.
but when I came in as a freshman, I was on the team with my sisters, but I got to be in the period of when Northwestern really transitioned, because my freshman year, in the conference tournament, I think we lost our first game, but then we worked all the way back into the championship game. We lost the first one, but so we were technically runners up in the championship tournament. And then we came back the next year after losing like 8 seniors. We lost basically our whole entire infield. And we actually came back stronger though, because we had so many new freshmen coming in. No one knew us really because of that big turnover. And then and then that's when I think that year we won the tournament and went to the NCAA tournament. And we did the same thing the following year, which was really fun because none of those times we weren't the top seed. I mean, we were not expected to win. It was St. Scholastica the first year that we beat out, and then we beat Bethany Lutheran out the second year. And it's just really fun games. And the thing that's different about Northwestern's athletics, but also about softball, is that we have a different view at athletics. I'm like, we play to compete. That's why we're out there. We're athletes. We want to compete. We want to win. But we also have a different view of it because we are all Christians and that we go to a Christian university, that we use the softball atmosphere as our mission field. We go and yes, we're out there to have fun, but we also want to go out and reach other teams, which I think is something so unique to our program compared to other programs. Because yes, there's other Christian universities, Bethany Lutheran, you have Martin Luther, there's other Christian, North Central, you have other Christian universities, but I think we take it to a new aspect than some of the other ones do. And we really go out there to I'm a catcher, and a lot of catchers will ask the ump where was that, if they thought it hit and the ump didn't. And I honestly don't ask the ump that, because I feel like if I were to ask him that, he would think that I thought he was wrong, and not necessarily. And sometimes they would just tell me anyways, and it's like, okay, thanks. But we really try and work to come alongside our teammates to help each other. And we always celebrate the small and the big successes. It could even be someone diving after a ball but missing. That's still a success. They dove for the ball. So just looking at the little things that some people might not think is a success, and we still celebrate it because it is. But yeah, I don't know. Northwestern softball is just so unique that it's a really fun place to be, because we love to spread God's love and through how we play and how we work.
Yeah, that's really special, and I think a good summary of your program and where you've been the last few years. So that's really cool. And kind of just staying there, it's kind of like a final question. If you have a message or something for your teammates or other athletes, this has been a unique experience, but I think a lot of people have found some positives in it. So if you had to share something, what as you look back as finishing your career, what would you kind of say to your teammates or other people about this experience for you?
I would probably want to say thank you. It's been a great ride
Yeah.
to coach, to my teammates. Like I said before, they're my second family. We always said to our teammates, if once you're an Eagle, like, so once you come into the athletic program, you're always going to be in that program. Like, if you decide to leave or not, if
Yeah.
like we had some people that were on our team earlier this year and they decided to leave because of other scenarios happening in their lives that they couldn't do both things at one time. And I'm like, even one thing I said to them, I'm like, once you're on the team, you're always on the team. I'm like, because we're going to still reach out to you. We're still going to love on you. We're still going to help you. And so to my coaches, to my all of my teammates I've had this whole entire time, but really to upcoming athletes, like, don't take it for granted. Play your heart out every time. I'm like, my season got cut short. I had 2 good games down in Florida, but that's what I got.
Yeah. Well, that's really, really good. And it's hard to express that, but I really appreciate that you shared that with everybody. So just want to wish you the best of luck. I hope that the student teaching experience turns out okay. I know it's definitely going to be a little bit different, but really appreciate you sharing your time with us today, Faith.
Thank you.
Yeah.